Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a quick first impressions on a Maxace knife, and I haven't had one for a while. There aren't a lot of Maxace knives I'm interested in, to be totally honest with you, but this one I was pretty interested in previously, and they sold out pretty quickly, and you couldn't get one. So what I have here is, well, first of all, I have a stupidly gigantic pouch, which I do like. That's a nice touch. Gonna ship with, the knife's in a bag, and you got a little microfiber cloth there. So what comes in this ridiculously giant pouch? Just to show you how big, here's a Civivi pouch for comparison. All right, and what you get in this giant pouch is a giant knife. This is the Maxace Goliath 2. Now there was a Goliath 1, and I wanted to check one out back then, but they sold out. I wasn't quick enough on the hop, and they didn't have any left by the time I was trying to get one. This did come from Justin over at White Mountain Knives, and if you want one, you can save yourself 10% off using my discount code SHARPSTUFF. Let me give you a quick rundown on, and by the way, I should say I've never had a knife with white G10, so I've been kind of curious. So I went with the white and blue. There are a bunch of options available. So in fact, I think there's even micarta, which it was really a struggle, I will say this, to decide between the white G10 and the micarta. Ultimately, the white won out, mostly because I've just never had a knife with white G10 before, and so I was kind of curious. So I guess we're already starting into the materials. We've got some white G10 with aluminum bolster here. Interesting sort of decorative pivot there, quite large. It is a liner lock, and you can see those fairly thick stainless steel liners. They are milled out to save weight, and it saves some weight, but it's still a stupidly heavy and gigantic knife. We've got a massive piece of full flat ground K110 steel. All right, and I have to say, the blade here is pretty cool. Let me wipe my fingerprints off it so you can appreciate it a little more. There you go. So full flat ground K110 steel. K110 is sort of, I guess a similar steel to D2. All right, and I would expect reasonably similar performance out of it. We already talked about the aluminum bolster. It is on bearings, of course, and it is a flipper. So big surprise to no one there. You could tell as soon as you looked at it. We've got a bent clip that is only one position. I will say, I don't think most people are buying this because it's such a practical EDC knife, so probably people aren't that concerned about exactly how the pocket clip functions. But I will say I did try and put this in and out of my pocket a couple of times before making this, and it does work okay. And it, I like to every once in a while carry something like this. This is one of those knives that when you're when you're a knife guy, when you're a YouTuber, people expect you to carry something a little outlandish, and this definitely fits the bill. The first thing I should say is this thing is, well, I've said a lot already, so I should say, though, that this is a massive knife. It's ridiculously big, 10 1/16 overall, 4 7/16 on the blade length, 5 5/8 handle. Okay, so that's closed. 4 5/8 grip area, and this thing maxes out my scale, which means it's over 8 ounces. So this is a big, heavy knife. And you know what? That's fine. I think, when you have a knife that's 10 inches long, you expect it to be about that weight. I will say this, the action is quite enjoyable. There's something really satisfying about that giant blade just snapping out into place. My initial thoughts on this are pretty interesting. So this is a knife that, it just doesn't fit a mold very well. It's definitely got the look of a gentleman's folder with this nice bolster and some classy looking, some classy looks overall. But then it's ridiculously huge, high flat grind. I will say this, I like the way they've ground this knife. I think the performance is going to be pretty good, and it feels to be pretty thin behind the edge. It's not crazy thick blade stock anyway. All right, so my first impression my first impression is, yeah, this is a cool looking knife. Totally impractical, but a whole lot of fun. So if you want one, by the way, let me know what you think down in the comments. I know, by the way, that there's been some drama around Maxace. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm not a big Maxace fanboy anyway, but this is an interesting knife, and so I wanted to go ahead and pick it up and share it with you guys. I would love to hear your thoughts down below, and I would like it if you subscribed and hit the thumbs up button. And of course, if you're going to get one of these, you may as well save yourself 10% off and go get it from Justin over at White Mountain Knives using my discount code. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.